Hello, Kyra Elise. I am a huge Chucky fan since the first movie, Child's Play. What can you tell us about your background and your inspiration to become a documentary director?
Hi. Well, I went to Florida State University to get a degree in filmmaking, and it's one of the few programs I think that actually teaches documentary. They have you do a documentary semester. So I actually never was intending to go into the documentary genre, but then I took that semester and fell in love with storytelling in this capacity. And I originally set out to make a short documentary on having a dad as a special effects makeup artist, Tony Gardner. But then it kind of became a focused piece on a franchise that he's worked on that has encompassed my entire life, which is Chucky. And so that's how this feature kind of came about, was exploring it as a short and then expanding upon it in a feature length.
In a few words, how can you describe the movie Living with Chucky?
Oh goodness, in a few words. That's a pressure. A filmmaker explores the relationships between the families at home and the families on set of making the Child's Play films.
Nice. Chucky seems to be an important part in your life. Your father, Tony Gardner, is a lead Chucky puppeteer since Scene of Chucky and actually worked on the new series. How can you describe the Chucky Wars impact on your childhood and your actual life?
The impact he's had on my childhood, dear Lord. Reality was not reality. My childhood was very fantastical, and Chucky was always a part of it. I'm an October baby, so he was always at my birthday parties growing up. He was scaring my friends and making them cry, which was an interesting facet of my childhood. And then, growing up and my dad working on them, kind of just gave me a deeper appreciation of the work that goes into those movies and the people who make them, especially puppeteers, and everything that they have to put into making your favorite characters come to life.
In Living with Chucky, you gave a fascinating anecdote about the making of Chucky movies, but also about the current series. However, one film is not mentioned. Can you tell us about this choice?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
In Living with Chucky, you give a fascinating anecdote about the making of Chucky movies, but also about the current series. However, one film is not mentioned. Can you tell us about this choice?
One film isn't talked about?
Yeah.
Oh, the reboot.
Yeah, reboot, yeah.
Why? Oh, got it. Yes, sorry. So the 2019 remake is what you're talking about. Yeah. The choice there to not talk about that movie was just none of the original people on the franchise, Don Mancini, David Kirshner, Brad Dourif, weren't involved in that movie. And, MGM, which is now Amazon, had the rights to that film. So because it didn't involve anybody from the original series, I just felt including it in the documentary, especially at the time code that it would come into, just would kind of feel like almost a side tangent, because those people aren't still with the series or anything like that. It was kind of just a one-off thing. So that's why it's not covered, because it didn't involve any of these people and was a total different storyline than Chucky. It isn't really Chucky, it's an AI doll, and it isn't a voodoo inspired serial killer. So it didn't seem to be something that I was interested in exploring, especially if the documentary was coming from a familial aspect. Those names, don't resonate on a familial aspect. I don't know any of them.
Of course. Living with Chucky is finally premiering in some days at Fantastic Fest after being presented in London Fright Fest. How are you feeling about that?
Super excited. This will be my first time playing at Fantastic Fest, which will be really fun. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about this festival and how it celebrates, the more niche genres, which is so awesome, because I think horror is always underrepresented in the film industry. So it's so cool to be a part of a big festival that really celebrates filmmakers and horror filmmakers.
As someone who grew up with Chucky franchise, what are your explanations of this great success and what this dog becomes a pop culture figure?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, sorry. As someone who grew up with Chucky franchise, what are your explanations of this great success and that it does become a pop culture figure?
Oh, got you. You know, I think Chucky has a longevity because it is the same people who have been behind it for 35 years. Like Don Mancini is still doing it and show running the TV series, which is fantastic. And it's always been practical. I think that's really the thing that people respond to in pop culture and as horror fans is that it's something real and it's something that is actually on set that the actors are interacting with and they know it's not CGI. And I know we touched on that in the documentary, but I think that really is a testament to its longevity, and it's always progressed and tried to do something new throughout the movies and also the TV series. It's satisfying younger generation fans, Gen Z, bringing it to teenagers today, and those issues while still touching on issues with adults and those themes, and satisfying older fans by bringing back your favorite characters like Andy and Kyle are back in the TV series. I think it's just there's always something new, and it's always sticking to its roots because the same core people have always been involved.
Can you share some details about your long interview with Brad and Fiona Dorif?
Yeah, interviewing Fiona and Brad was really special. Brad actually flew out from New York to do the interview, which I really appreciated. Nice. And it was interesting to see how similar Fiona and I's childhoods were in some capacity, of her dad being an actor and mine being a special effects makeup artist. You know, movies are something that take time and film in faraway places. So it was interesting, especially to hear that she was actually around the same age I was when my dad started on the Chucky films as well. And so Fiona hearing her dad scream like he's being burned alive in the ADR booth at 6 years old and being traumatized was so interesting to me, considering I watched my dad die when I was 8 and was traumatized by that as well. So it's parallel lives we've led, which was so interesting to talk about in person. And also to hear Brad's experience as an actor and what it's like to play a serial killer. He has some amazing moments on talking about what that's like.
Which is your favorite Chucky movie and why?
My favorite Chucky's movie is Child's Play 2. I really like Andy and Kyle's relationship in the second one and exploring a foster parent dynamic. And I love the color palette of that movie, the pink house, and then the toy factory at the end is really fun. And I think that ending is really iconic.
Do you know which are the distribution worldwide plans for Living with Chucky?
I've signed with a sales team, Yellow Veil, which is a great, amazing team and very supportive. And we are figuring out distribution and looking for North American sales right now. So hopefully it'll be somewhere where you can watch it at home.
Instead of Chucky, your father was decapitated. It must be a difficult experience in your childhood. Or did you know that it was only a movie and not reality?
As an 8-year-old, that was very hard to decipher while watching. And the truth is, I didn't know, because my parents didn't tell me that he was in a movie or kind of explain it to me. They tried to keep me away from it, which was probably the downfall, because I watched it anyways. So I called my dad after I watched it and was crying because I was convinced he had died. But we had a conversation after that, and my parents kind of walked me through it. And after that, I kind of had more of an understanding of fake and reality, which was good. So I was kind of pushed into the deep end of
nice. And my next questions, which are your current projects, please?
What?
Which are your current projects?
Oh,
documentary?
I recently shot and directed the making of the Foo Fighters horror movie, Studio 666, that came out in February of this year. So I hope that gets put together for people to see at some point, obviously not right now. And then I'm currently writing my first narrative horror feature script that is a period piece, which is super fun.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I love your shirt.
Thank you. Bye.